Hello, this is chapter 11, outcomes. So this chapter is focused on outcomes of research based off of, solution focused therapy. So my question to you is, do you think that it is important to know the effectiveness of various approaches when, you might use them as a professional? And I think that it could be helpful. I know that, evidence-based practice has been increasing in importance over the, recent years. So it's something to at least be knowledgeable about or know about. I know for this particular chapter, I'm not going to give you a quiz or an assignment on it, rather maybe just a brief discussion board question that you can reference and talk a little bit about it. But there's not going to be a quiz or assignment on this chapter. So I think that it is important to maybe just be aware of the outcomes or aware of the various approaches that you might use as a professional. I like to think about it in this context, whether you're a physician's assistant and you're referring people to mental health professionals, or maybe you're a law enforcement agency and, you're working with people on probation and parole, or if you really are just doing therapy and you're working with a whole wide range of people. I feel that it might be beneficial to be aware of, what has been proven to work with these types of clients, because we're going to come across them in our field, no matter which area you're coming from. So I'm just going to go over very briefly, this will be a very short video, but I'm just going to go over a few things on the success rates of various studies of the solution building approach, just to kind of give you some more insight. And then, of course, if you've read or will be reading this chapter, you'll be able to get some more information out of that as well. So Kaiser, 1988 to 1990 study at the Brief Family Therapy Center. The number of people served was not mentioned in the text, but it said that 66% met their goal, plus 15% made significant improvement in 4 to 6 sessions, 4.6 sessions average, and the median was 3 sessions. And that was a grand total of 80% improvement. So I think that, that 80% is definitely a high number as far as showing success. There was another study conducted, BFTC 1992 to 1993 study. There were 275 people included in this study. I'm going to skip over there was percentages I had listed on my notes as far as the population, but I don't know if that's necessarily important right at the moment. Outcomes tracked, they had scaling question for problem solved, and at the 7 to 9 month follow-up by phone, again used scaling questions, and other 2 questions were treatment goals met or not met, and if they weren't met, was there any progress toward their goal? And the results showed on average in 2 sessions it was helpful. 74% improved during treatment, and at a follow-up 77% had improved, compared with a 66% for problem-focused approaches, which we talked about in chapter 1. And also quicker 2 sessions versus a 6-session average for problem-focused approaches. So that is definitely some good numbers as far as the difference between problem-solving and solution-focused. Stockholm recidivism rates of prisoners used a severe population, prisoners, and it was experimental. There was an experimental and a control group method. At 12-month post-release, 53% recidivism versus 76% with the control group, a difference of 23 points. And at 16 months, there was 60 versus 86%, a difference of 26 points. So in addition, repeat offenses were less serious as well. That was the end of that study. But something else, too, to think about is, do these studies prove the effectiveness of solution-focused therapy? No, of course not, because it depends on what the limits of the study were as far as the information that you're going to get. No matter what study you conduct with someone, it's always going to be based off of your control group or whatever group you're working with, as far as you could pick random people off the street, but it's still as far as whatever your study limits are. And of course, I think that they need more evidence too when it comes to, the research that they are doing, maybe researching other different types of populations, other different types of groups, comparing it with other therapies, as the one that I mentioned, the BFTC one, when they measured it with problem solving and solution focus. So more studies, various populations and settings, and confirmation of the results might be more helpful. And it does prove, however, that it does seem to be more beneficial and shorter than other therapies. So that's something you can kind of take away from it. And again, like I said, there's not going to be a quiz or an assignment on this. I feel that it's based off of research. So I feel that, you can read it, take it all in, but there's no need to really kind of quiz you or do anything on that. But definitely make sure you do the discussion board for this chapter. All right. Thank you for watching.